that she was broken, don't know what she wanted. She said, where you going? I know that you leaving. Don't know where you going. She full of paranoia.
To Imagine Bigger, I'm Kiid September. I want you to introduce yourself. Today we're gonna be interviewing this gentleman right here, this super creative, this super talent, this superstar. I want you to introduce yourself, sir.
God, legendary intro. I'm Reryte, you know what I'm saying? I'm an artist, producer, engineer, listens pretty long type shit. I do a lot of stuff. But yeah, man, like, I'm here with Imagine Bigger, two entities that are great, that are continuing to prosper. We've known each other for how long now? Like 3 years or so, 3, 4 years?
I've been about almost 4 or 5.
Yeah,
I knew you since about like
word.
2018, 2019.
Yeah, because the way I met you was, yeah, you're right.
I met you through Puppet.
Nah, it was before that. I walked into a random ass session in 2 Prince Street.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shit was wicked.
I was getting mixed by
Harlem Kid. Yeah.
Were you getting mixed by him?
My man's was on some random shit. I just came to it. I was like, yo, like I had a studio right across like that spot type shit, and then like he had another spot right across from my studio, and he was like, yo, I'm about to record here. And I'm like, I bet I'm gonna pull up to his shit. That was the first session I ever pulled up to his shit, you know? And then we ended up recording and all that.
Okay.
It's a fact.
Well, we here today because specifically there's a specific song that you have that I feel like that's about to like touch the streets a certain way because there's been a lot going on with the energy, with relationships, communication, with people not really understanding perspectives and where we coming from. And today, like I really want to like delve into your mind about that, you know? Well, before we start, I want you to tell the people what you have coming up. What's the name of the record? What do you have planned for the people?
Yeah, fact. So the song that's coming out right now is You Don't Understand, produced by my guy Jay Cryptic, you know what I'm saying? I have a visual out, well it's about to come out type shit, but you know, as of we're speaking right now, it hasn't come out, but once the people see this, is about to be out and shit. That's pretty much the project I'm working on right now. I'm editing the video currently. It's interesting that you do say that about like psychology in terms of like how people are thinking nowadays and shit like that, and like what's actually going on. Cause when I made the record, it was really like I was vibing. Like I heard the beat and I was just like, I was freestyling the whole record. So like I really just spoke the vibe.
It came from that genuine, authentic place.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking too much about it. But then once the record was finished, I'm like, alright, this is a specific situation that I have been through. But usually when I'm creating the record, like I'm piecing it as it goes, and then when it's finally done, it's like, okay, this is what I meant. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense.
You feel me? That's pretty much what I got going on right now. I'm focusing on that record.
Is there an album after? Is it leading towards a project? What's 2024 looking like?
2024 is gonna be a dope ass year. Right now, I am working on the project on the super low. It's not low now, but I just said it. You feel me? But like, you know, I'm working on the album. But it's gonna contrast everything I'm doing right now. Right now, I'm just like showing how many times I could reinvent myself and like how like the lengths I go with it. Like y'all could do this because I listen to this. Like I listen to fucking rock music. I listen to reggaeton. I listen to blues. I listen to rap, hip hop. I grew up on hip hop, so I listen to all that shit. So like I'm pretty much just showing my ability to like rewrite myself, like not to be corny and shit, but like you feel me, like being able to reinvent. So then when the project comes, it's gonna be more of a statement. Like my first album was a statement. Like, there was like a whole storyline going on. So that's gonna be, you know, that's the vibe of the album. But right now I'm just doing like the singles and shit, like showing my creativity and all.
Okay. So what's been the hardest process about reinventing yourself? What's the toughest part?
I feel like that's also the thing. Like it's not really like that. Not that it's not hard, but it's like it made me become more aware of like how many aspects there are to people in general. Like there's more than one way of expression type shit. So that's what I tap into when I make these different vibes. Like I don't always feel like aggressively rapping on some shit, like, or like feel like killing somebody on the record. Like nah, you feel me? Like yo, I'm about to I'll rap you and shit like that. Like I like battle rap, so like I have that energy when I rap and shit like that. And I grew up on Mobb Deep and all that, like. So I don't always have that vibe for a record. I go through heartbreaks and shit. Like, I'm not aggressively rapping about my heartbreaks and shit. You feel me? I listen to alternative music too, so like that's how I express like that aspect of myself. And like you feel me? Like that's kind of why I named myself Reryte, just cause like I became aware of the fact that one, life is about progression, so you should be able to reinvent yourself. And two, like it's also about like there's more than one way of expressing yourself. Like that's kind of like my message. Like yo, you don't gotta be this all the time. Like you're not that all the time. So you feel me? Like you know what I'm saying? Like there's different. You feel different emotions every day type shit. That's what I go through. Like I don't, you feel me? Can't really speak for everybody. But, you know, that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, hearing how you're speaking, it sounds like you're very like vulnerable in the music, and you allow your audience to really feel you, like what you're going through presently or what you've experienced. Would you like to talk about some moments, like maybe someone, a parent, a loved one, or a woman didn't understand where you were coming from at some point?
Oh yeah, that's honestly a specific situation too. Like I've had that many times. Like I grew up kind of feeling misunderstood, like in that way too.
Talk about like a scenario. Give an example.
The whole scenario with that is that I feel like, well, one, I always approach relationships with like it has to be open communication, transparency. Like I'm heavy on that, because you know there's been times again in my life where I just would explain myself, and because the conversation is not about like coming to a middle ground, it's more about like my point versus your point. I will get misunderstood type shit. And I feel like that's a big problem in general, because communication solves a lot of shit. That's like a main problem in life, I believe. So you feel me? Like
is it more of a main prop? Because, you know, not to sound too biased, but there is a world that exists where even a lot of the comments, it's usually, you know, some women who don't understand men. And there is a lot of a lot of talk about like a lot of men, and I definitely notice it too. A lot of men don't understand women, but in this particular topic, like, would you want to get into like how do you feel about that, the dynamic with women and men? Like, what are ways that you feel like women can understand men more? What are ways that they're not?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I feel like in relationships in general, no matter whether it's a woman, man, or both, I feel like humans in general just have a problem with communication. Like, it's because of trauma. We're not taught in schools like, yo, this is the proper way to communicate. Like, I feel like that should be taught, like, you feel me? But it's not. It's like something that we learn along the way. And thoughts or expression and conversation is an expression of like how you think. And a lot of people think in different ways. They can't read people's mind. The only way to properly get across a point is for the communication. So bringing it back to the relationship between like men and women, like it is a controversial topic. Like I feel like there is like a disagreement between men and women, and like the media is perpetuating certain things. Like I feel like it's just as easy as like being transparent, not being scared of like showing your truth and really like expressing your thoughts. And if somebody doesn't agree with it, then that's, you know, you can't really do anything beyond that point. You just gotta, you know, be willing at least to have the conversation first. Like that should be the first step, so that we can see our perspectives, because we're not gonna, oh, he's automatically like this because of this, oh, she's like that because of this. Nah, like, you gotta have the communication, and if it's not that, then it's not gonna go nowhere, it's not gonna progress. Like, that's how I feel.
I didn't mean to get too deep for you there.
Nah, we're feeling
it's a little therapy real quick, little therapy real quick.
I understand. I feel like people need to hear that though too, essentially, you know?
No, that's true. No, especially your audience, like you're putting out like a certain content, they need to understand like the mindset behind like the person, you know.
That's a fact.
Before we kind of end it on a lighter note, I want you to get into your other talents, and I want you to get into like what people should expect from you, like business-wise. What are the motions looking like? What are you doing to make movements in 2024?
Well, I always strive for progression. Like every year, I feel like I should indulge myself more in than what I was doing last year. Or I progressed in some way. Like, since I started doing music, I've just been progressing like every year. So, you know, like I said, I have a company, a film company called thane Empires. It's pretty much about like ownership. The thane is it's basically about the thane is somebody that owns land, somebody that like, is an owner of land. So I feel like people need to own.
Knows.
You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
You feel me?
Not like Thanos is wicked. You know? Thanos is a crazy guy. You feel me? Like, but Thane is like, you know, the owner of your own land. Like, I want it to be more of a mentality of like, yo, you should own, like, you should have ownership under you and your lineage to continue. You feel me? Like, back when before, like, you know, during tribal days when we was like in tribes and shit, like, you know, we had ownership of like, well, you know, our land. Like when we were Native Americans, like we had our shit, like, you know, and then other shit happened. But I'm saying like it's about ownership. I feel like in any aspect, like, you know, I do the videography shit and I do, you know, my production shit and all that other stuff. But you know, I feel like people should strive more for owning their own vision and bringing it to fruition for themselves. So I'm bringing that more to light in terms of like, you know, my film company and you know, the Reryte brand. Like, I want the mentality also of rewriting to be like more predominant in my brand. Like understanding that it's cool to reinvent yourself, it's cool to progress, it's cool to, you feel me, like express yourself more than one way, like, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, because a lot of people like to be like stuck and harbor on things, and some people love the attention that comes with being sad or moping or being stagnant.
But I understand that, like, it's business at the end of the day, like, you know, like people are gonna buy into like what they like and how they feel. But I feel like as a whole, like, we allow the media to like take too much of our perspective away. Like, hip hop is about like being authentic and being your own self. And you feel me? I feel like the media kind of made hip hop more of like a cash grab. Like, you feel me? Like, yo, buy into this because you're gonna look like this. You feel me? Like,
it's bad bread in it now.
Yeah.
It got public. It's a public open trade now, basically.
You feel me? Like,
yeah,
it's like Corday. Shout out to YBN. Or he was YBN Corday. But Corday, like, he said that hip hop is like hitting a lick now type shit. It basically is. Like, it's like, you feel me? Like, people coming in, like, you know, it's. I feel like it should just be more artistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting back to being.
We need to bring talent back, nigga.
That's talent. Yeah, you feel me? That too. But like, I feel like this is my overall statement. Like, we buying too much into the media, like and we don't really. How you say it? Like, the business is taking too much of the art type shit. It's overriding the art. It should not be like that. It has to be a balance. We're both Libras, so we know about balance, bro. Like, I feel like it needs to be more of that, and I just want to bring that to the game, man. That's pretty much my goal.
Yeah, and it begs the question of what's next after this? If we go from talent to the popularity contest, what happens when, like, what's the next pinnacle when everybody does have 5 million followers?
Yeah,
like what's after? Like, you always got a question, like, what's after? Like,
that's a fact. It doesn't stop.
Eventually, it has to come. Like, good music has to come back. People are complaining the most about like where the music just is going and everything.
Yeah.
So. That's good that you adding that component, bro.
But that's a super fact. I never really thought about that. Cause you don't, once you get like 1 million followers that you bought from bots or some other shit, it's only, you're just gonna get more, but like nothing is impacting the culture at large. Like, you feel me? But that's what I want to bring to the game though. I'm like an old soul, you feel me? So like, I love hip hop, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up on Mobb Deep, like I said, like De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, and they all existed at the same time, but they was mad different, and they still made hit records. Like, they was making hits, like they was bumping in the club. I wish I was alive during that. Like, I would be in the club, like, bro, what? To Tribe, my nigga, I'm lit.
Nah, but Tribe has some great
Scenario,
beats.
bro. Scenario was lit in the club.
Beats.
I'm only 23, bro, but I definitely know about that shit. Like,
you know what's so funny about Tribe too? If you go back to the visuals, like speaking of you talking about film and everything,
right.
like if you go back to like my fault, if you go back to like their visuals, they were really ahead of their time with a lot of the videos. Like a lot of the templates people use today, they kind of like you can kind of see it in that.
That's a
like
fact.
it's funny how you bring them up.
Hell yeah, nah, I'm super influenced by Tribe. I used to like rhyme on Tribe beats type shit. You feel me? I used to look up Tribe Called Quest type beats and look them up. But
Top 3 influences. Tribe.
oh, what, bro? That's
Put
crazy.
you on the spot, my boy.
Like,
Let's do it. You brought it up.
Top 3 influences?
Yeah.
Bro, I have weird influences. It's like
One in music, one in video, and one in production.
Okay. I'm gonna say Kanye
And
for production. Video is what's this? Quentin Tarantino. I like Quentin Tarantino.
okay.
He's a film, but it's still like, you know what I'm saying? What you said the other one? Artist?
What did I say?
I don't even know. Alright, fuck it, we doing the 2. I'm gonna just say an artist too. Damn, bro. Biggie. I'm gonna just say Biggie. I'm from
Biggie?
Brooklyn, bro, so like that's. Or Jay-Z. I don't know, bro. That's crazy. I have mad influences, bro. I'm influenced by like I'm influenced by philosophers, nigga, like Socrates. I'm influenced by mad different shit, man. I like philosophy. I like fucking science. Neil deGrasse Tyson is like a scientist type shit. Like he deals with science. I don't know exactly what, but I look into his videos and shit like that. Yeah, I'm influenced by that. That's a long list. Not gonna lie.
Well, we're coming towards the end of the interview, but before we end, I did want to ask, like, if you had any words for artists out there, like, quick advice you can give
For all artists?
for all artists, all creatives.
Word. I feel like the best thing to know is that being yourself and doing what your true calling is, you're gonna know what your true calling is. Even if it's like you're still trying to figure it out, it's cool to just figure it out. That's the whole part of the journey. Like you're supposed to learn the lessons when you're still lost. Like that's how you find the most lessons. So it's okay to be lost. It's okay to still try to figure it out because that's what life is all about. And you have to really be authentic to yourself. Like don't be afraid to just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, being yourself will take you way farther than pump faking. Like you don't want to pump fake. Because then when you get caught on being pump fake, it's the worst. Like you don't want to do it. Just be yourself. And just continue to create. Don't do it to appease to other people. Like appease yourself. Make sure that you have a passion for it. That's it.
Dope. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Imagine Bigger. It's been
Reryte.
And I'm Kiid September. I've been your host for tonight and today, whenever the fuck you listening to this. But yeah, man, shout out to my guy Reryte. He has a huge single coming up, a huge year coming up. Shout out to our beloved cameraman, Jay Cryptic, an amazing producer, an amazing artist himself, man. Just look out for what's going on, man. Yeah, bro. I wish we had fucking wires so it can look cool and yeah, like so it can be like, interview over and then taking out the wire.
Go to a show.
Yeah, like it's things like that.
It's gonna happen.
But yeah, man.
Next year.
Alright.
We out of here.
Cause I done been around in the night, seen a lot of things. I've been moving cautious, I've been moving dangerous. I don't got time for no relations, going through the changes. You don't understand, you don't understand, you don't understand. You don't understand, you don't understand, you don't understand. You don't understand, you don't understand, you don't understand.